Hey, got a little bit of breaking news for you. I was in the middle of doing another video for my other channel. Here's the deal, the Police Accountability Channel, and Trish came in and said that Biden dropped out of the race. I have not looked at this yet, so let's look at a couple of news articles from CNN, from Axios, and from NBC. It says President Joe Biden says he is not seeking re-election in a letter posted on X. So let's take a look at this. On his official account, Biden says he will speak to the nation later this week in more detail. Let's take a look at this. Again, this is just breaking. I'm just getting wind of it. And it says, my fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. That's a bunch of BS, nothing but regress, because the Federal Reserve increased in riches and power, and we decreased in riches and power. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. So many lies. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation and lowering prescription drug costs for seniors and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety, that's gun restriction law in 30 years. That's anti-Second Amendment. That shall be infringed instead of shall not be infringed. Appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court. Oh, there's an achievement for you. And passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Well, it was done without a vast portion of the American people. As a matter of fact, it was done without any American people and with corporate backing and corporate help and Federal Reserve, fake fiat currency, petrodollar, fraud notes. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century planned, organized partial shutdown of the U.S. economy in the second quarter, according to James Ballard from the Federal Reserve, and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. And I want to thank Vice President Vice President Kamala Harris, because if Biden wrote this, he would have said Vice President Trump, for being an extraordinary partner in all of this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation of the American people for the faith and trust you have placed. Don't count. I'm an American. I didn't place faith and trust in you. I believe today what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. The Communist News Network says Biden's departure capped off weeks of concern about the 81-year-old president's stamina and mental capabilities and skepticism of his ability to effectively campaign against Trump and govern the country for another 4 years. He hasn't been governing the country. The puppet masters have. Biden's decision is also likely to raise questions about his ability to fulfill the duties of the presidency for the remainder of his terms. If we haven't come to the conclusion that presidents don't run countries, that they're not the leaders of the free world, that they're not the commanders in chief of the military industrial complex, we haven't been paying attention. You could literally put a chimpanzee or a hamster in the seat at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue behind the desk of Resolute, and they would do a better job than any president could possibly do, because they're not doing any job. They're just serving as figureheads of the 28 USC 3002 15A federal corporation that is called the United States. It's the first time a U.S. president has dropped out of a re-election run in decades, recalling memories of President Lyndon Johnson deciding against seeking a second term in 1968, though Biden's decision comes months later in the campaign than Johnson's announcement. It's also the latest shocking development in a highly charged political campaign that has included a reported attempt on Trump's life. Let's take a look at Axios real quick, see what they say. Axios says Biden announced Sunday that he's stepping aside as the presumptive Democratic nominee for the 2024 presidential contest and endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris to be the party's nominee, according to the letter posted on X that we just read. Why it matters: it's a seismic shift in the 2024 presidential race, less than a month before the Democratic National Convention set to start on August 19th. You know they had this waiting in the wings the whole time. You know that none of this caught anybody off guard, and all it was front of the screen, in front of the curtain rhetoric that they expected everybody to believe. Remember what Biden said? I'll never step down. I'm the president of the United States, man. I'm not going anywhere. I can run this show. I can right this ship. Ain't no step for a stepper. It's been the greatest honor of my life. Biden, who's been in Delaware since last week, recovering from Convids 1984 by George Orwell, faced intense pressure to withdraw from the race following his shaky debate performance. Of course, we all knew what was going to happen. Privately, it's been expected Biden and a group of lifelong loyalists would decide his future in the presidential race. This group of internal advisors, which includes family members and long-term political advisors, are the same people who supported his 2020 White House run. The big picture: Biden, who previously served as vice president under Barack Obama, will go down in history as the Democrat who beat Trump in 2020 after the Convict 1984 by George Orwell devastated the country. Oh, did it really? Did it devastate the country, or did power-tripping authoritarians who engaged in the biggest power and wealth transfer that this nation and, in fact, the world has ever seen? Don't ever forget that. Biden did it. Trump did it. Father of the VAXX? You got to be kidding me, Trump. He spent more than 3 decades in the Senate. Yeah, that's a long time. So now we got Kamala Harris in the bid against DJT. Oh boy, this political dog and pony show is getting so good, isn't it? Just grab your popcorn. The lies are going to spring forth from the depths of Washington's District of Criminals. Leave your thoughts about this. What do you think about this? It's all a dog and pony circus sideshow, and now they've brought another act into the center ring. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, The Disturbing Illusion. Hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you've missed some of the last couple videos, I encourage you to check it out because all of them are still very much in play today, just like they were when I made the video, and they'll be in play for a very, very long time. I look forward to reading your comments in the comments section below, and I'll see you in the next video.